Alright, so in today's video, I'm taking a little bit of break from crocheting because I got a lot of crocheting to do this month. A lot. And I just finished my Halloween costume, which was Wirt's cape, and I still have the hat. It's still in here, don't know what to do with it. This cape right here, it took me a really long time to make this cape, but it's done. And I'm moving on to my next big crochet project that will take maybe 3 weeks to do. Usually I like to get a crochet project done in like a week and a half. This one is a doozy. So I decided to do something else and dabble in a little bit of woodworking. And by dabbling, I mean my dad is gonna do everything for me and then I'm just gonna make it look nice. I have wanted my own personal yarn bowl for such a long time. And like I have yarn bowls. I have two like little cute yarn bowls. I have a salad bowl that I got from a thrift store that I use as a yarn bowl, but I wanted a yarn bowl that was a size in between those two. That is what we're doing in this week's videos. I'm making my own yarn bowl from scratch. Again, not me, my dad. I will watch and film everything, but I do not trust myself with power tools, okay? In the garage, my dad actually has a wood lathe where you can make bowls, and he's made bowls in the past just for like little trinkets to go in and stuff like that. I have one somewhere where, I don't know, I'm really bad at losing things. So anyways, I asked my dad if he would help me make a yarn bowl, and of course he said yes. So that's what this video is about, is me making a yarn bowl. We just need to pick out the wood I want to use and like the size and everything like that. I actually do know what type of wood I want to use, and I don't have to go out and buy it, so technically. Okay, well, I mean, it's not technically free. I was gonna say I don't have to pay anything, but I will eventually, I think, have to get like a stain or a varnish or something. I don't know how the wood's gonna look at the end. We'll see how that turns out. But anyways, years ago, there was a park, and it was called Crystal Beach. Both my parents would go a lot as like kids, and they went as teens and stuff like that, and it was an amusement park. But it closed down in the year of 1989. The year I was born, so I never got to experience what it was like to be there. And I actually know some people who are in my crochet club that they went to Crystal Beach as children. And just hearing like all the stories and memories, it just sounds like such a nice, magical place. But then they closed down. It was a smaller place, but they had roller coasters, Ferris wheels, games, there was arcades, there was a dance hall, there was like all this stuff. And when they closed down, I don't know how it happened, but my dad and my oppa were allowed in there to collect some wood. So that is what my yarn bowl is going to be made out of, is a piece of history from the Crystal Beach. I don't know exactly where this piece of wood came from. I'll show you. It is massive. I cannot pick it up. I'd like to think it belonged to a roller coaster or some type of something. I don't know, but it is a big beam, and I'm gonna make a yarn bowl out of this beam. Nothing really else to describe other than I'm making a bowl for my yarn to go in. And I'm excited for this project. But anyways, without further ado, let's make this yarn bowl. So this is the piece of wood that I chose to make the bowl out of. My dad had to cut a piece off with the chainsaw because this is how massive this piece is, because you know me, I can't just go to a hardware store and buy a simple one. Then we put a circle around because that's how big I want the bowl to be. Then with the chainsaw, my dad did cut the piece down to look more bowl shaped. Technically, this is going to be the top of the bowl, but we have to sand the bottom of the bowl down and get it looking pretty. This thing was massive and it weighed so much. Then we put it onto the lathe itself, and this is how it spins right now. And then my dad got to work whittling it down with all the little tools that I don't know the names of, because, you know. This whole process took about 4 hours. So yeah, it was a lot. There was a lot of stuff happening. This video will have a lot of voiceovers because pretty sure you guys don't want to hear this noise, but this is what it sounded like. So I think it's better for y'all, also for myself while editing, not to hear that annoying noise. Now this piece was so big that we actually, my dad actually had to do it in 2 parts because this piece of wood was so big that the metal piece right there that my dad is resting the tool on to chisel away at the wood, it wouldn't fit. And so once half of it was chiseled down, he was able to move it over and start working on the second half. So basically my dad was just chiseling it down till it was the right shape for the bowl. Once we got the shape of the bowl done, it was time to sand down the bottom of the bowl so then that way it looked nice before we started actually making the bowl shape from the other end. Once the bottom was done, it was time to take it off the lathe and switch the base. That way we can start working on the inside of the bowl. So this part here attaches it to the lathe, and again, we're just switching it around because it's time to finally do the inside of the bowl, which makes it a bowl. And then back on the lathe it goes. The black line that you can see right there, that is actually how much we want to take off from the top of the bowl, just because there's some nail holes that went through that left some marks and there's a little bit of cracks. So we decided that we wanted to take that much off the top of the bowl. And then it was time to actually start carving out this bowl. I feel like I'd be able to do this on a smaller project, but not today. So that's what it's looking like. It's getting to look more like a bowl shape. Then my dad put a line because that is how thick I want the bowl to be. I want this bowl to be chunky. And then my dad is using this tool because that is the depth of the bowl that we need. So we still have to go in a little bit more. Once the inside of the bowl was done, it was time to sand the outside just to get rid of any extra jagged edges and to smooth it out. And 4 hours later, it was finally time to take this bowl off the lathe. The next day I went over to Michael's to get I was gonna say wood stain, not a wood stain, a clear coat to go on top of the wood because I realized that the wood was so pretty that I did not want to darken it at all. So I ended up picking out a wood finish in a gloss just to highlight the wood's features. This is the bowl done. It's so pretty. Like, look at these lines. There's the bottom. And so, like, this is the inside. Now, I did go with a thicker bowl just because I really like how it looks. I really like how this looks. It's so gosh darn pretty. Just look at this. Right? I can't stain that. This cannot be stained because it is so beautiful. I don't want it to be stained. Like, look at that. Isn't that just so pretty? So I went to Michael's and I ended up buying this. That's French. It is a diamond wood finish, water-based. It's crystal clear, non-yellowing, and it is a gloss. I did not want to buy something with a satin finish. I wanted something that like really made this shine, especially just because of how beautiful this wood is. So I went to Michael's. I ended up getting this small little can. I did not want a big can. I think this was $17, you know, and then I used a 40% coupon. So, you know, good time to save. And then I also got these foam brushes, and this foam brush, that's what I'm gonna work on today, is glossing this up, and I think I might put 1 or 2 coats depending on what it is. It's pretty smooth. I mean, could it be a little bit smoother? Probably. Honestly, I don't care. I'm just gonna open this up. Oh, maybe I should read directions. That's French. Yesterday, I put the glaze on it, thinking that all the rough spots, you know, would just go away. And they didn't. So what am I doing? I'm sanding the bad spots. Yeah, I should have done it yesterday. I don't know. I don't know what would work. Okay, I crochet things. I'm making this for crochet things. I'm just going to be sanding it down even further and then going back and putting the finish back on again. It's fine. I don't do this for a living, so I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, I'm just sanding it down. So the sandpaper I'm using now is a 100 grit. I guess it says 100. And then I'm gonna go down with a finer one after this. I just finished sanding with the 100 and now I'm going with the 220 sandpaper. And now that I'm done sanding, I'm putting on another clear coat. Yesterday when I put the first layer on, I did realize that I was kind of like treating it like paint and just giving it like a nice thin coat. This time I really just kind of slapped it on because I really wanted a nice glossy finish. Okay, so I decided to make a crochet project. Bowl done. I still want to do like a grand reveal, but feel like I do need to crochet something just to make sure the bowl works the way it's supposed to work. I know, it's a bowl. It should work. How does a bowl even work? You just put stuff in and nothing spills out. And I actually got these headphones at a Winners, which is a Marshalls, which is a TJ Maxx, which is a HomeSense, which is a Home Goods. All the same family. I bought these about a month ago and I think they're really cute. The only problem, they're a little too big. They go down more, so if you have a bigger head, you're good to go. But if you have a smaller head, they just don't sit where I want. Like I want it to be here, but there's like gap. So I'm just gonna crochet myself a little sleeve and then crochet it onto here. And then that way there's a little bit of padding and it hopefully will fit my head. So it's just a quick little crochet project just to make sure that the bowl works properly. I made the little top to these, just a fun little crochet project. All I did was half double crochets and then I actually overlapped the start and bottom of my project so that way it's a little bit more cushiony. So let's try these on. They fit perfectly, although I can't really hear myself talk, so yay. That's what's important, is that they fit. The bowl is done. This is exactly how I wanted it to look. This is how I envisioned it. I know like the rims are really chunky. The yarn ain't coming out of them. Also, I just really wanted this chunky bowl. Like this is exactly what I wanted for a yarn bowl. Is it a little heavy? Yes. But you know what's great about this heavy bowl is it's not gonna fall off my bed, okay? I have the little bowls like I've showed you. Sometimes they fall, okay? Because they're very lightweight. This thing ain't going nowhere. As you saw, I don't know why I didn't sand it again. For some reason, I thought that the top coat would just be fine. Now, do I do woodworking a lot? No, I crochet with yarn. Don't judge me. It's fine. It turned out great and I love it. You can kind of see like right here's like that rough spot. And on the inside, there was like the rough spots there. Sanded them down. It's not 100% smooth. It's like it's smooth. The yarn is not going to get caught on it. But I think it was just the way that the grain was on it. Like there's like, look at all of this grain. And I think that's why it's just because like this is going like with it and then like this is against it, like the rough part. But like look at how pretty this wood texture is. Here's the thing. Looking at that piece of lumber, I did not think that it would make this. I did not think it would make this really beautiful bowl, and I am so happy with it and like very thankful for my dad that he can help me make this, because if I were to do it, it wouldn't have happened. Maybe in the future, I'll make a yarn bowl, a smaller one that's a little bit more easy, maybe. Just how pretty that is. If you are new to my channel and you like random projects and crochet projects, why not hit that subscribe button? The yarn ball just sits nice in here. Let me go grab one so, you know, the ball is not gonna go anywhere. We couldn't really get it too deep just because what was on the bottom, like I didn't finish the bottom, I just sanded it a little bit. This kind of stuck into the bowl about like this far. So the bottom is about this thick just because of what we had to screw into it. You know, that way it can go on the mount. The yarn ain't coming out and I could pull and the yarn ain't going nowhere. And what I like about this is that it can fit a bigger ball of yarn in here, whereas again, the smaller bowl would not be able to fit this, but the larger bowl that I have, I'd be able to fit like 2 of these. But it's nice just to have a medium-sized bowl. Again, I am just so astounded of how beautiful this bowl came out. I do have to say that I might put another coat or 2 of that varnish on here, but for the video's sake, I have no time. I can't wait another 24 hours for this to dry. I mean, it looks beautiful as is, and I can leave it as is if I want, but I definitely think I am gonna put another varnish just because I want it to be a little bit more shiny. And I just think it's so pretty. Again, the ball yarn sits so nice inside of it. I wanted a new bowl for my crochet projects because I am working on some crochet projects right now. And this one, it's a simple project once I got the hang of it, but it's gonna take a while. So, you know, I don't wanna say this is a filler episode, but it could be a little bit of a filler episode. This is what it looked like before, and this is what it looks like after. Yeah, I think that does it for this video, so y'all have a good day now.